Hello, I want to share a quick word with us today. Um, Please share this video with somebody. You see, blessings are transgenerational and curses are transgenerational. Some of you are doing good works right now, and sometimes you are worried. You are like, how come I'm not receiving the rewards? How come God is not rewarding me for the good works I'm doing? um, and sometimes you probably ask a question: how come evil men? There are men that are very evil and they are wicked. How come such men? It looks like God keeps them alive. It looks like, they keep prospering. I want to tell you something. You see, God cannot be mocked. The Bible said, whatever a man sows, that's what he will reap. Um, the Bible said something. He said, a seed shall serve him and it shall be accounted for a generation. God was speaking to Abraham, and God told Abraham, the blessing I have for you, it will touch your seed, your children and your children's children. So I want to tell you something. Blessings and curses are transgenerational. So whenever probably you are doing something good, you are serving God, you are sowing good seed, and it seems sometimes that you are not reaping at the moment. I want you to know this. God is thinking about your children and your children's children to your third, fourth, fifth generation. So the blessing of God actually is not just for you, it's for your generation. It's for your children, your children's children. So when somebody is doing something right, understand that the blessing of the seed you are sowing today, the good seed you are sowing today, your children and your children's children and your seed, your lineage, a generation is 100 years. And the blessing of God is always touching a generation. So I want you to know that the blessing God has for you will touch your generation. And whenever a man is cursed, when a man is wicked and doing something bad, sometimes don't expect the person to reap at the moment. There are some of them that might even live a good life, enjoy themselves and die, but their children and their children's children. The Bible said the fathers, they ate the grape and the children's teeth is set on the edge. So sometimes there are things we are doing. If we are doing something right, our children will reap. Our children's children will reap. Our fourth, fifth generation, they will reap. And if we are doing something bad, our children will reap. So the question is, what kind of seed are you sowing? Some of us, when our children go certain places, our name cannot open a door for them. Have you ever seen people that when they apply for a job, they don't get the job? Wherever they go, people dislike them because of their parents. You know, there are politicians today. I was telling somebody, you see, some of these things our politicians are doing, they are so selfish. They are selfish because they are not thinking about their children. The question is, where are the children of Abacha? Can they ever come out to contest for any position or any election in Nigeria? The answer is no. Why? Because their father shut the door. So, where are the children of Babangida, IBB? These are evil men. So there are things you do. Your children will never ever come out to contest for anything because you gave them a bad name. The question is, how will your name open a door for your children? Or how will your name shut a door for your children? Some of the things we are doing today, you think you are smart, you think you are being fast, people are watching and God is watching. And in future, your name will either open a door or shut a door. You see your name, it will either open a door or shut a door for your children. There are places you go and somebody probably knows your father or your mom. They will favor you because of the good work of your parents. And if your parents are evil, sometimes a door will shut. Let's be careful what we do. Today we are talking about Nigerian politicians. And the question is, what of you? How do you treat people in church? How do you treat people at work? What does your family member say about you? What does your spouse say about you? In your absence, what do people say? That's the question. In your absence, what do people say about you? So the things we are doing today, we are sowing a seed and our children will reap. Your name will either open a door or it will shut a door. And there are things that people do. Sometimes they don't know this. You see, some of these corrupt politicians, the money they are piling up and the wealth they are piling up, at the end of the day, their children will squander it, waste everything, because they don't have the moral values to manage them. They don't have the moral values to manage them. So at the end of the day, the child is taking drugs and moving from one club to another, waste the whole money. Why? Because there is no foundation. There is no blessing attached to it. The things you are doing today, they have consequences. They have consequences. And your name will either open a door or shut a door. Your name will either open a door or shut a door for your children. So some of the things you are doing, think about your children. Think about your children's children to your fourth generation. God said, I'm finalizing. He said, I will visit you to your fourth generation. I will remember your work and I will remember it and I will reward your third and fourth generation. Let me say this. There was something that God did for me. And I was asking him, why did you do this for me? It was kind of a blessing, a favor. And God said to me, because your father did something for me and I want to pay him back. In the mind of my father, probably when he was alive, he didn't know that God was going to pay him back. But he paid him back by blessing his children. You know, and I remember when I won the DV lottery, to come to the US, I needed a place to stay. I needed somewhere to stay, like somebody to receive me. And I contacted a man living in the US, Los Angeles. He said something to me. He said, I did business with your father. He was a good man. It was on that premise, and on that ground that he accepted me into his house. He said, I know your father. He was a good man. I will receive you into my house. And he did. Some of the things you are doing today, it will either open a door for your children or it will shut a door. I hope Nigerian politicians and African politicians will learn that some of the things we are doing, it will either open a door or it will shut a door. Your name will either open a door or it will shut a door. And the question is, what are you doing today? What seeds are you sowing in the lives of people? What do people say about you? Your name is a key or a padlock. God bless you.